Hello, my beautiful friends. I just want to give a shout out to two awesome viewers who've been viewing my YouTube channel and who recently contacted me, Farah and Zahid. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate your support and how cool you guys are. So, thanks for that. And you've inspired me to want to keep going at this and keep helping people like yourself. And another thank you to another listener and viewer who asked me a question, which I love, guys. Please do ask me real estate questions. And she asked a very good one that I haven't addressed yet. So thank you. And her question was about older homes, buying older homes in Victoria. What do we need to know? What do we need to be careful of? And this is excellent because a lot of homes here in Victoria are old, okay? And there are things that you need to be aware of and things to be careful of. Besides the fact that I'm not even kidding you, some homes you walk into, so older homes, they're built on concrete, they've got poles, wooden poles, and over time the land settles. There's earthquake, land shifts, soil moves. So you'll walk into some homes, no jokes, and as you're walking in, you're like naturally walking towards the corner of the room. It's so sloped. And that can be scary when you're walking with a buyer and they're like, whoa, why am I walking towards the corner of the room? Well, older homes, not all of them, tend to settle. And you'll find that even when you walk in a room, the floor is sloped or it's wonky, sometimes it can be really obvious, and sometimes it's just a little subtle sloping that you feel. But yes, you will experience some settlement of the home. There are some remediations that you can do for that. So if you could pick up a good deal with an older home, there's guys here in Victoria who specialize in that. They go underneath the home, they reinforce the foundation, they jack part of the home back up, so they raise it so that they straighten the home out. But of course, structurally, you know, how they built homes back then. Sometimes some say it's sturdier. I don't know, but there's a reason why we keep improving code. I mean, as in I do know, but I don't want to. I don't know how sturdy it is what I meant. Is that the newer homes are built more to code, and code being what the current engineering requirements are as far as being seismic for earthquake proof, for leak water, and also these older homes. Another point that I want to talk to you about, in some of their drywall, there is asbestos. Yes, older homes had asbestos in it. You'll notice that most specifically, one of the signs an inspector told me once to know about asbestos being in the insulation was if you look at those older homes that had cove ceilings in the 70s, prior to the 70s, yeah, or around the water tank or the plumbing, they used to put tape, and that tape would have asbestos, or vinyl tiles. Certain tiles had asbestos in the tiles. So it's fine. I mean, you can live in those homes, and older homes that are, heritage, that are beautiful. There's asbestos. As long as you don't tamper it or it becomes dust and you inhale it, apparently it's safe to live in it, and people are living in it, because there's lots of homes in Victoria with asbestos in the drywall. But you don't make a hole. I've seen homes where they've renovated, so a couple has a little child, they don't want their kid, to be exposed to asbestos, so they leave the rest of the home intact, and I've seen them just change all the drywall on the kid's bedroom. So you do see people who are conscious of the asbestos, and although they're okay with living with it in their common area, when it comes to their kids, they'll change that particular room. So there's asbestos in older homes to be careful of. There is settlement that can happen to be mindful of. And, I'm saying all the negative things. The bonus things of some of these homes is they're in beautiful neighborhoods. They've got character. They've got charm. It's the workmanship of someone beyond your lifetime, beyond your parents' lifetime. And it's neat. It's a masterpiece. It's art. You don't find those anymore. And I have clients who just love those character charming older homes, and they have this smell to them. Some would say it's a different smell. I personally think it's that smell of history. But you laugh at me for saying that. It's all personal preference, right? Some would be like, oh, it smells like an old home. For me, it smells of character, charm, that era. And that's the beauty of it, right? And some of them you'll see stained glass. Some you cannot touch or renovate because they have what they call heritage status. And that shows up on the title. So those are beautiful, but heritage status means they are so precious that the government has deemed it as part of its history. And in a moment you start ripping down walls, woo, you're going to get in trouble. But those are very rare. You'll still get you'll see more older homes without heritage status than that with heritage status. So you do want to check the heritage status on title as well, because it determines how much work you can do and how much you have to pay to get work done. All right. So that's another point on older homes. Now, the other big, big, big one that everyone needs to check on is oil tanks. Homes built prior to the 1980s, even sometimes prior to the they say most definitely prior to 1970s, have a high chance of having an oil tank on the property, and an underground oil tank. What does that mean? So back in that era, how did they warm their homes? They used oil, and they'd get it from a tank. Some oil tanks were above ground and some were underground. For those homes that were fueled by underground oil tanks, what we found recently is you get these nice homes in Oak Bay, older homes, and you don't need the oil tank anymore. You come to remove the underground oil tank, and holy moly, what do you see? You see a leak, you see contamination, and environmentals get involved, and they say, this is great, this is wonderful, you got a beautiful, nice piece of property, but you got a contaminated site now, and we need to do a cleanup. And how much are the bills? It can be as low as 5,000 and it can be as high as 50 to 100,000. Yes, because they have to basically clean all the contaminated soil, remediate the site. Sometimes the leak can be little and it'll just be a $5,000 chunk. Some sneaky peeps take the oil tank, don't even report it, clean it all up, get their buddy to do it. But I'm just saying, for older homes, when you do come to buy it, we always get a scan done for an underground oil tank. If they see, and not just like your mom and pop, the guy who shows up with one of those beeping machines that you see at the beach, an underground sonar detector. We go to a proper company, because there's some companies that just do it mom and pop style. Do it properly, make sure there's no underground oil tank there, and once we deem it safe and secure, that, hey, we're good to go, or they've got proof that it's been removed, let's go ahead. Let's see what else there is. And if you're okay with the asbestos in the drywall, and typically though, you'll find a lot, it depends. Are you going into a project? Do you want to do the reno? Because even with asbestos in the drywall, there's some contractors who'll do it, and they do it at a easier way than they would with a full-blown contractor who does it with the remediated way. But anyways, we can talk about that further in details. These are at a high level points that I would want my buyers to be aware of. And there's more points that will come up, I'm sure, when we actually go and see these properties. But the big one being oil tank, asbestos from my experience, settlement happening in the home, structural, and perimeter drains, guys. Let's not forget the perimeter drain. So what is a perimeter drain, guys? And you're all going to be like, why is this important? So perimeter drain is this whole system that you put around the perimeter of the home, essentially. And it basically, when it rains, it collects the water and takes it away from the foundation of the home. There's a pump. There's a whole system to move this water away continuously from your home. Because when moisture or water sits around the home, what happens is you get structural issues, some settlement happening, some moisture getting into the concrete, getting into the wood. You always want to keep water away from your home, and that's what the perimeter drains do. And also, not even that, let's say you have 3 days of rain straight, you don't want your basement getting flooded. So this perimeter drain continuously removes the water away and makes sure there's drainage happening around your property. So that's another big cost item you want to check, and your roof. Okay, so for that wonderful listener who watches my videos, for your awesome question. These are key things that I would get checked out, and the inspector can check the perimeter drain at a high level, but there's another test where you put a camera, they put a lens into a perimeter drain, and they check it more intrusively. That would be another approach that one could take to be really reassured. And yeah, let me know. And the older neighborhoods where you're going to see a lot of older homes are Fernwood, James Bay, Oak Bay. We see, but those are the prime areas that you may want to get into an older home and flip it, or do work on it, or just embrace it and enjoy the charm of that area. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go on this lovely, it's rainy again today. They tease this, this is Victoria. It's one of those cities where you can experience all 4 seasons in one day. And but one season you're always assured of getting is this beautiful rain, which, hey, I'm okay with. It means we're going to have greener summers, which is awesome. But anyways, my love to all of you guys. Thanks for listening. And any questions, shoot me an email below or email me at info@bchomegroup.ca. Always happy to help you guys. Cheers. Take care.